back at 9:15, everybody. And when your family heritage includes a civil rights activist and the founder of the Albany NAACP, you are bound to follow in their footsteps.
Or you can forge your own path in the world of dance, like our next guest. So please welcome celebrated choreographer and the creative force behind the LINES Ballet, Alonzo King. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So wonderful to have you here. I mean, you come from a long line of civil rights activists. When was it that you realized, I mean, was it as a child that you had such a family legacy?
I don't think I was aware of the legacy, but I was aware of my father being put in jail a lot.
Well,
and the unanimity of a community that was joined together to fight to make change. And so when people talk about community, that was a real community because it was a group of people who were willing to give their lives for what they believed in. And usually what people say and how they behave are two different things. But in that particular community at that time, what they spoke and how they lived were the same. And so that was inspiring and intimidating.
well, I'm sure. I'm sure. And you're watching all of that, taking it all in. But what drew you then to dance?
My mother was a dancer.
Oh.
Yeah, and so working with her was a form of intimacy, and I loved the way she moved.
Yeah.
She moved through the music instead of on top of it, on the beat, and it was personal and original. So I loved watching her.
And how did you end up starting this company?
After I'd been in the field for a while, you know, just like after being a sous chef, you want to be a chef.
Yes.
And so there were some ideas that I wanted to bring in that I thought were missing, some ideas I wanted to express, ways of moving, how to look at pedagogy. And so all of that obsession had me create the company.
Yeah, and your company making its Lincoln Center debut.
It's amazing.
I mean,
Oh my
that
gosh.
is one heck of an achievement. So when you look at that and the totality of it all, what does it mean for you?
Well, you know, I have to tell you, it's a whole group of people who made this possible. You know, Margaret Selby, our agent, and a lot of supporters who said, we're going to make this happen.
So tell us about the work, the actual work that you're putting together.
We're doing a ballet called Deep River.
Okay.
And it was actually funded by the Mellon Foundation during the pandemic, which allowed us to meet in bubbles in the desert. And so some films are going to come out of it as well. And we were able to, their directive was, we want you to continue doing what you normally do. So don't stop because of this pandemic. Keep making art. And so it was a real boon to us. And we were in these isolated bubbles with doctors, and we were continuing to work.
Wow.
And part of the choreography that came during that time is a product of Deep River.
Wow. So you're in that bubble in the desert, meaning like it was just you folks, nobody else was in or out. And that was self-contained.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh, yeah, it was great.
What do you hope, you know, because ballet and dance obviously tell a story, right?
Yeah.
So what are you hoping people take away when they're leaving? What's the story you're telling here?
I think the big story is, you know, and because of the pandemic and because of any obstacle, the big story is no matter how painful it is, no matter how dark it feels, that there is the possibility to overcome this. And that when difficulty comes, it's actually not meant to destroy you. It's to wake up what is latent and what would otherwise not have been lifted up if you hadn't presented it. And so obstacle is really unfolding the door in the next steps of our unfoldment. We don't run with open arms to obstacles.
Of course.
But when we look back with introspection, we always say it had to happen.
Yeah. What is it that you feel when you watch your dancers out there?
When I'm not being critical.
Yeah, when you're not saying, point your toes, straighten those legs.
Just the joy of people who are not distracted. I mean, undistracted, single-minded, living in the moment. Where do you see that? You know, we're also,
Yes.
you
my
know,
gosh.
and to see someone with a laser focus and they are experiencing themselves and are having a dialogue with their art in terms of execution, in terms of vulnerability. So the audience is receiving these subliminal messages about how to behave in the world.
Wow, that sounds beautiful.
Hopefully they take it with them. Alonzo, great to have you here.
Great to be
Congratulations on all
here.
the fantastic
Thank
work.
you so much.